So we're sticking with this reopening of the government. And if the Senate gets that vote tonight and it goes to the House, the deal could be finalized in a few days. But the true impact of the longest shutdown in U.S. history is just starting to be understood. Today, Kent figured out how uncertainty over SNAP benefits led to such a huge demand for Meals on Wheels here in the Twin Cities. Hey, Kent.
Hey, yeah, Jana, it's demand on top of demand. Since the pandemic, Metro Meals on Wheels has been delivering 50% more meals to local seniors and people living with disabilities. But cuts to SNAP sent demand soaring again on top of that, and it's not likely to subside as quickly.
When Minnesota seniors are in need of a meal, Meals on Wheels delivers. But in recent weeks,
we had a 75% increase in requests for our services.
Most citing the loss of SNAP benefits as a major driver.
They only had a few dollars in the bank and they weren't sure where their next meal was going to come from.
Christine Stensberg has personally taken many of those requests.
They're stressed. They're fearful on how to have a nutritious meal, and a lot of people are unable to get to food pantries.
Have you had to turn people away?
Right now, we have some waiting lists, so we're trying to help those programs meet that need.
That's where we come in.
Phil Schmidt is an aging services specialist for St. Paul's Keystone Community Services, and the need for meals isn't the only thing he's seen increase.
It could be housing, it could be food, it could be finding somebody a bed.
And in some cases, the people he and the other drivers are delivering to are younger than you might expect.
Hi, Ricky. Hey, it's Phil from Keystone. How you doing?
Ricky Galley qualified for meals after extreme hypertension and blood clots kept her from working.
That was huge because some days I can't even get on the bus to go to the food shelf.
Though with two teens to also feed, she was more than relieved to see her SNAP benefits finally return this morning.
That eases the fear and the feeling of being alone for a lot of people. There was real panic.
While that panic may finally begin to fall, all you have to do is look at Meals on Wheels requests in the months prior to October to understand why demand isn't likely to fall much, if at all.
Everybody's struggling, even the employed.
With the rising food costs, with the economic uncertainty, we are expecting the demand to continue to increase, as well as the population switch. There's more and more older adults. So we are gearing up to have more demand.
See you soon. Okay. Food is sort of a barometer for other things. It's basic. It's like air.
Though Ricky received her food stamp allocation this morning, she did mention that she didn't immediately receive the SNAP cash assistance that's helped her pay bills. Now, thankfully, she does have understanding landlords and community support because she, like many others, has prioritized spending on food for her family right now above all else, keeping it from, slipping into much worse situation.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people share that sentiment, and it's disheartening. But I also assume, I don't know if she mentioned, just the anxiety of all of this, knowing that it could change on a dime just by what Congress argues over.
Anxiety for her, for sure, and for those 30 community sites that that was one that we featured today. But as organizations try to provide that safety net, and you have to tell people they're on waiting lists, they have to look for donations and ways to fill that gap. It's a big stressor.
Man, a lot of moving parts. Thanks so much, Kent. We'll be right back.